no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today, Framers, we are back with another Palia video. This time around, I would like to tell you guys something. I have been cooking, and if you guys haven't seen what I've cooked, we're going to talk about it today. So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys stuff I made in plots, because I spent a lot of gold, a lot of time, a lot of resources to make all this stuff. I made Free Realms locations in Palia plots, and today I'm going to show you all of them. Now, obviously, my own plot, this one right here, this is my home. This is where, you know, and just to show you guys my creativity, if you guys haven't seen this, this is my plot. This is what I've made. This is how far I've gone to make something really cool. You know, it varies, but like I've made a lot. All four of these structured houses have attics at the very top. You go up here, boom, empty attic. But you know, maybe I'll put something up there eventually. But this is my original plot. It took me a while to build this, actually. Not, I'd say as long as all the other ones, but yeah. I basically connected everything together. This is my own little house. I feel like this is more this is the coziest house that I've had, you know? Like, in Free Realms, I don't even remember if I built anything for my house. I don't think I did, because I was never that creative, you know, back in the day. But, you know, I worked really hard on this house, and I think, you know, I think it's really freaking cool. I think it's really neat. And I've shown this off probably in every single Palia playthrough episode, but just to get an idea of what, you know, of what my creativity is like in Palia, this is what it's like. So yeah, and then obviously the other houses, I can show them off real quick but obviously the main point of this video is to get into those Free Realms plots, because I spent a lot of time working on them. My whole goal was basically to do that because of all the, you know, Free Realms inspiration this game has, all the homage this game pays towards Free Realms, the fact that Daybreak owns Singularity 6, and it's just like, you know, it's a whole thing. And look, snowmen are up here. Very cool. But yeah, I have an attic in every single one of these houses. I had to look up how to build the attic, which it was actually a very tedious process to do. But it was doable. Really doable. It was really easy. You know, someone smart on YouTube figured it out, and that's where I got it from. But yeah. So again, you got more stuff in here. This is I call this the chest house. Every house has its own little theme going on. You got my stuff there, and again, this attic's empty because I haven't really wanted to put anything up there. I think I'd only put something up there like if it was chest related or chest adjacent, if you will, you know. And also, like, these two areas are empty because they're mainly for growing trees, the flow trees. There's that. This is the frog house. I also call it the plushie house, but it mainly does consist of frogs. And then, of course, you've got the mushroom addict. We don't talk about that, but anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in to the Free Realm plots. All right, Freemers, so here is the first Free Realms plot I ever built. Now, if you don't know what this is meant to be, just gonna tell you straight off the bat, this is supposed to be Shrouded Glade. Now, I tried to do it as one-to-one as possible, but it was insanely hard to do because my original plan was to put like structures on top of the blocks, and it wouldn't let me do that. So I had to kind of improvise. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't ideal, but I tried my darndest to make this as one-to-one as possible for Shrouded Glade. I'm still kind of like growing these bushes all around the plot, which is kind of like a secondary thing. It's not really super important, but I can water them if need be. But yeah, a lot of these fountains are in Shrouded Glade. or at least like it was a substitution for what was originally in Shrouded Glade, but I like putting them there. And also, the hedges were a very important part of Shrouded Glade, because Shrouded Glade had a lot of hedges, and I literally went off of reference screenshot for this too, so you can't say I didn't try, right? I did my darndest to get this to work, and I don't know. These are the ones that I need to water. Okay, well, we'll water them because we're here. I don't come to Shrouded Glade that often, but like, you know, was that really all of them? There's got to be more than that. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll water these guys. But again, the whole point of making the plots, I think, was to give people a little bit of nostalgia for Free Realms, like to get people interested in, just to get people to enjoy, or no, get people the experience of Free Realms again. I think was the whole point of building the plots. You know, I think that was the goal. Okay. Yeah, might as well. Okay, cool. Then we'll water these guys, assuming I don't want to run out of water, but I might. Yeah, I'm out of water. It's fine. Actually, I'm gonna move. Cannot do that. Hold on. This is just gonna drive me a little bonkers. Okay. Yeah, that works. Whatever. That's fine. Anyway, back to the most important thing, which is the Shrouded Glade plot. So yeah, I tried to make it as one-to-one as possible. Did 3 bridges there, because that's how they had it in the original. But the hardest part about this was building this giant wall up here. And now, there are some Easter eggs in each of these Free Realms plots. So you've got... If you go into here, which this is very Shrouded Glade looking like, there are actually chatty plushies spread out throughout the entire, like, they're in every single Free Realms plot that you could think of, like, that I've made. There's going to be a chatty plushie in every single one. So there's one in here. He sits on the chair there. There is another one in this one, I believe. Yep, there he be. Little chatty plushie. And then you go up the staircase here, right? And obviously nothing down here. I just put the hedges there to make it look, you know, full. There's chatty plushie right here. And yeah, these are all empty. The only reason they're empty is because, again, I couldn't put structures on top of here. I was kind of mad when I found out about that, because I had already started this, and I was like, well, I can't stop. But then you also got a staircase that goes all the way down to here, so you're able to just go up to here and just kind of vibe, you know? So I tried to make it as one-to-one as possible, which did not happen, but, you know, if you actually just look at it from the outside, it looks pretty good. Like if you, like, you just see the hedges, like, oh, you're thinking, oh, cool. But obviously you go into it, there's nothing up there, but the hedges make it look full, you know? Make it look kind of complete. So Shrouded Glade was as one-to-one as possible. I tried my darndest, but, you know, it happens. It happens. You know, there's complications in every build I do, and that's just how it be. But yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the next Free Realms plot. All right, for the next Free Realms plot, I'm sure you guys can guess what this is immediately. If you can't, that's fine, but I'm just going to tell you right out the rip. This is Wugachug. So Wugachug, I really tried to get one-to-one. It was actually not that hard to get one-to-one. It felt pretty easy. I I just during the whole design process of this place, like I was contemplating like how I was gonna do this. So this is supposed to be the upper level of Wugga Chugg, and I got it as close as I could to being like the original. But yeah, we got a little chatty guy. He's looking out there. Ignore this. I could not fix this for the life of me. I do apologize, but yeah, chatty. He's looking out. He's doing his little scouting, you know, routine. But yeah, there's gonna be a chatty plushie again everywhere in this plot. But yeah, I didn't really know what to fill in with Wugga Chugg, and so I crafted a bunch of these guys and spread them out throughout the entire plot. And then made 2 of these guys, or I think I bought 2. I might have bought 2. But yeah, there's a chatty plushie here as well. But yeah, and then I made a bunch of tents, spread them all out throughout the map, and it actually looks really good. You know, and it makes it look less empty as well. Because originally I wasn't going to put the tents there, but like I thought it might fill in everything, you know? Again, another chatty plushie right there, chilling, relaxing, all cool. But yeah, the Wugga Chugg one was pretty simple to make. It wasn't that complicated. The only thing that was complicated about it was making this, trying to make an upper level for Wugga Chugg to make it seem like it was 1-to-1, or attempt to make it 1-to-1. But yeah, and all the tents are empty. There's nothing inside of them that makes them look really cool. I didn't really do that in the design. I didn't really want to because I'd already spent so much time working on this, you know. And also made a couple of these as well. Pretty cool, pretty neat, pretty spectacular even. But yeah, the Wugga Chugg one was really simple to make. Didn't take too much time. I think this was probably the easiest out of all of them. But yeah, so Strataglade, Wugga Chugg, and let's move on to the next one. And here we have our next location, which is super easy to guess. If you don't already know what this is, well, I apologize, but this is Snow Hill. I don't know how anyone couldn't guess that. This is Snow Hill, as best as I could make it. Now, the problem with making Snow Hill was like, it's, you know, it's mainly the town was what I wanted to focus on. So what I ended up doing was I saw the big, you know, Christmas tree in the middle of Snow Hill, and I thought, well, I don't have a way to actually grow a giant tree in the middle of this map. So what I did was I got a bunch of branches or logs or whatever and spread them all throughout. Oh, hello. I'm a little stuck. I got a bunch of logs and I spread them out throughout this giant rock to make it look like the tree, you know, obviously the game had sunset and the tree probably got cut down in the process. So that's what I ended up doing to make it look, it looks like a memorial for this tree, which I think was really smart to do for building Snow Hill in Palia. And also, again, the chatty plushies are just vibing. 3 of them here, doing a little vibe. And then I didn't really know what else to do for the other outside the map, so I put up a bunch of fences around the pathing, and then I bought a couple of structures to make it look like, to make it look more full. Again, so kind of like Wugga Chugg, but this also wasn't too complicated to build. I think this and Wugga Chugg are probably the easiest, and then the next few were probably the hardest to work on, you know? But yeah, Snow Hill is definitely one of my favorite locations, and it's the reason why I wanted to do it. It was like, I think Shrouded Glade, Snow Hill, Wugga Chugg probably, like, I did the locations that I thought I could do with the plots they had, and it was doable. Super doable. Also, this plot at night looks so good. I just gotta say that, because there's also, I got lights here. I don't usually see this plot during the day. I usually see it at night, but oh man, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. But yeah, so this was again another kind of easy one to just make and do, but yeah, let's move on to the next one. Okay, again, another easy one that you could easily figure out what this is. This is Seaside. So Seaside I tried to get as 1-to-1 as possible. Again, kind of hard to do. The only parts of Seaside that I did include was I tried to include the volleyball net from the edge of the beach, which was really hard to do. I ended up just doing this to make it look decent, because apparently we just didn't sell volleyball nets in Palia, which is crazy. But I also wrote on this Seaside volleyball net, so you know what it is. Pretty straightforward. But yeah, you got a little chatty chilling under the umbrella, pretty cool. And then you got another chatty chilling under this umbrella, pretty sick. So again, I tried my best trying to get this to look like Seaside, but Seaside is kind of, it's not difficult to do. Also, I love the pirate stuff going on here. I haven't even really explored this map too much, you know? Probably should have done that more often, but anyway. Yeah, I tried to get it looking as Seaside as possible. The only other thing I did with this map, again, another kind of easy one to make, although it got hard around this point because, yeah, it just got difficult because I was planning on building all the way around here. It would have been more complicated, but game wouldn't let me build like that, so unfortunately had to build short. So yeah, we got this giant ramp up here, and this is meant to be the Ocean Treasures Cafe. So you go up the ramp here, and then I've got a little whole area set up that looks like the Ocean Treasures Cafe with a bunch of chatty plushies hanging out. Pretty cool. I think I did really good, and I actually put right here Ocean Treasures Cafe so people know what it is. But yeah, I think I did a solid job kind of recreating Seaside a bit. I don't think I did a really good job of recreating it. I did what I could. It's a pretty hard thing to recreate, especially when you're using blocks, because I mean, I could have made this shorter, but I wanted to make the ramp up as high as I could. But you know, it works. It works for what I was going for, you know? But anywho, let's move on to the next plot. Now, instantly, you should recognize what this area might be, but if you can't recognize it, I will just straight up tell you. So this is Briarwood, but specifically, this is Tanglewood Fort. I tried to make Tanglewood Fort as, you know, as one-to-one as I could. I was trying to make it look a bit different than what this looks like now. I was trying to build up. I was trying to basically remake the entire Tanglewood Fort in its entirety, but it was insanely impossible to do because the game stopped me at one point and was like, nope, you can't build any higher. And I was like, well, okay. So I ended up just doing Tanglewood Fort on the ground level and just made it as simple as could be. You got Shaddy guarding the entrance here, and then I wrote here Tanglewood Fort. But I did actually name the plot Briarwood because Tanglewood Fort is in Briarwood. But yeah, so I did like guard posts up here, but along the wall here, I made a little like way for you to like guard the fort, so you could like stand up here and watch above here, like kind of how Tanglewood Fort looked. But you can go around this whole wall and just run around it, and at each corner I've got a staircase leading up, so you have a way of getting down without jumping. And yeah, this wraps around the whole entire fort, which took a lot of time because I had to redo this entire the entire thing I was building, which was difficult to do. But yeah, and then of course to fill in the area, I did pathing, put tents down, put some fencing down. I think there are chatty plushies here, or they should be. There might only be one chatty plushie. Maybe there's no chatty plushies. Maybe, I guess the only chatty plushie I have was at the entrance. Unfortunate. But it's not exactly Tanglewood Fort, but I tried to make it as exact as I could. I got torches also placed all around the encampment, so it does look like Tanglewood Fort a bit. But yeah, man, I tried my best, did what I could. It was a very tedious process trying to get this one done just because of like how much work I had to put into it. But yeah, I think I did a pretty good job regardless. But yeah, and obviously I'm not going to I was almost thinking of recreating the hedge maze from Briarwood, but like I'd already done Shrouded Glade, so that would have just taken too much time. But yeah, man. But without further ado, let's move on to the final Free Realms plot. All right, so this is the final Free Realms plot. Now, this doesn't actually... This is not a recreation of a location. Rather, it's a recreation of a Free Realms lot. This is the large Wilds house. Now, I tried to... This took forever. This was the longest time I spent working on a plot. I think this is like second to Shrouded Glade. But it took so much time to get this done and to get it right. Now, the one thing that I did was I tried to recreate the tree, but obviously I had to pull the old Snow Hill card, and I built rocks all around this giant center rock to make it look like there was, you know, supposed to be a tree memorial here. And you can see a little chatty plushie hiding in the center of this. Very cool. Now, the hardest part of this plot was getting the housing right. This was definitely the hardest part, because if we go to the actual like map here, I was trying to connect all of these so like it would look like the large Wilds house, and I had to recreate it one-to-one. I had door issues. There were so many issues going on with this plot, and I didn't know how to get it right. But what I ended up doing with this is how it looks now, made it look perfect. And I had to like change around some wallpaper to make it look like the inside of large Wilds house. And this is what, like, this is the house that most people had, and that's why I wanted to build this, is because I also had this, you know. And I had to mess around with, I just had to mess around with so many settings on the housing as well, which is just super annoying. But I made it look as one-to-one as I physically, possibly, mentally could, you know. But without a further ado, let's head into the house. So yeah, again, there's not stuff that's meant to be in here. I just basically put the house together. I made it as it's supposed to look when you first buy it. But the one thing I did make, I put a fireplace and a little thing here with the chatty plushie at the center of it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this first like room area, and there were some walls I could not like wallpaper. But yeah, this first room's supposed to be orange. Then you've got the green room. Again, some walls could not be wallpapered because of glitching. And then you've got the yellow room that leads out to yeah, this area. And I basically build pathing out to this cliff over here. But yeah, this was like as one-to-one as I can make this house. It was, man, technically this was like the hardest work I've put into making a house, you know. And on the inside of the house, like, there is no flooring. I didn't do floor wallpaper or flooring wallpaper at all, just because I feel like this did not need it. It was just the wallpaper that needed it. But yeah, man, it is this was a feat to accomplish, you know. And I was trying my darndest to get this to work out, and I'm glad I got it done. And I'm glad I did all the Free Realms plots, because now I feel kind of complete with the stuff I was doing in Palia, because this was kind of like a big goal for me. But yeah, man, did a lot of work to get to where I'm at now with all these plots, and I think we did a really good job with this one. I think we did. But anywho, that's going to be the video for today. But thank you guys for watching, hanging out. I appreciate it a ton, and I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.